There was a time when this small town buzzed with life. The factory, at the heart of it all, was more than just a place to work, it was the town's heartbeat. Everyone in town knew someone who worked there, and the factory whistles marked the rhythm of life. In the early mornings, you'd hear the clang of metal and see workers laughing as they clocked in. Fathers and sons, brothers and sisters, all building something together. Back then, progress was something you could feel. But things were about to change. Then one day, word started spreading through town. The factory had new owners, big ones, from far away. They had big promises, more jobs, bigger pay, more progress. And at first, people believed it. The new owners brought in fancy machines and bigger equipment. The old workers started to feel like they didn't belong. The company didn't need as many hands anymore. People started to worry. Fathers would come home quiet, while mothers sat up late wondering what the future held. Then the layoffs came. It wasn't about how long you'd worked or how hard you worked. It was about who could be replaced by a machine. Families that had relied on the factory for generations were now left wondering how they would make ends meet. The Bryan family was one of those hit hardest. Mr. Bryan had worked in the factory for 20 years, but one day, he came home without a job. His kids asked, "Dad, why aren't you going to work tomorrow?" He didn't have an answer. The bills piled up, and the lights in the Bryan home grew dimmer each night. The town started changing. Without the steady jobs, families began to move away. The streets, once filled with life and laughter, now echoed with silence. The town that had once thrived on progress was starting to crumble. The local diner, where workers used to gather, now had empty booths. The school, once full of children, had fewer students each year. The factory still ran, but only a skeleton crew operated the machines. It felt like the soul of the town had been taken away. The price of progress wasn't just the jobs. It was the heart of the town. Progress promised more, but what the town didn't realize was that it was losing something far greater than just paychecks. Mr. Bryan stands on the hill overlooking the factory. The place that once gave him pride now feels like a stranger. He watches the sun set over the quiet town, remembering when things were different. This was supposed to be progress, he mutters, but I think we lost our way. Progress is supposed to make things better. But sometimes, in the rush to move forward, we forget what matters most: our families, our community, the people we share life with. The price of progress should never be losing the things that make life worth living. Mr. Bryan turns away from the factory and walks home, determined to rebuild his family's future, but knowing it won't ever be the. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, follow us for more powerful tales. What lesson stood out to you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear opinion.